Hello sentient beings, welcome to another episode of Basic Batches. Today I'm going to be unpacking this. This is the brand new knife that I got. Let me make sure this is the right way around. This is the brand new knife that I got from my colleagues at work to thank me for overworking, which is lovely. It's not going to continue. I'm not going to keep overworking, but this is a beautiful token of appreciation. I have genuinely just got it out of its box and looked at it. I haven't even used it yet. I'll get it out of the sheath and everything like that. So hopefully you will enjoy watching it with me. Right, so what I've got down here are a couple of knives so that we can compare them against each other. And hopefully I can teach you a little bit about knives in the process as well. There are some really good YouTube videos out there about knives, but I thought, seeing as I'm getting this out, seeing as I'm going to be chopping and cutting with it, we may as well get a little bit of a tutorial in as well. The first thing to notice about these three knives is that they are varying degrees of expense. We've got the Ikea knife, this one here, which is, you know what, it was less than 30 Australian bucks. So it is not that expensive at all. The other one here is the Global. We will be talking about Global in a little while, and something that I picked up at a previous workplace where I actually used to sell knives. The third one here is the gift knife. It is saying that it's a, I don't know if we've caught that. Yeah, that'll do. A Takamura Tsuchime Santoku knife. I'm very much looking forward to getting this out of its box and having a play around with it. I have got with us today an onion, which I've already peeled and washed. So I have cheated a little bit. I've got some carrots here. Not going to show you the brand, not being sponsored by the brand. And some kestrel potatoes as well. So if you can recognize where these are from, chances are you live roughly where I live, so you'll be able to get your hands on them too. I did also pick up some kale, but we're not going to be cutting kale. I'm just going to be grilling that. Incidentally, a little bit of coconut oil or grapeseed oil and grill kale until it becomes nice and crispy. It's the best way to eat kale. None of this horrible kale thick shaped nonsense. Don't do that. Grilled kale is amazing. Right, so let's compare these knives, these two knives to start with. You see, this is a Global knife. It's a bit more expensive, a lot more expensive than the Ikea knife, but it could be around about the same price, probably not, as this one. Full disclosure, I've not actually looked up how expensive any of these knives are retailing at. So for me, it's kind of a half. There's a single blind, double blind, and I'm doing a half blind test, essentially. So I'll just be comparing them on their merits rather than on their price. So let's start with the, do you know what? Let's start with the Ikea knife. We'll notice that it is around about 16.5 centimeters. The cutting edge is about 16 centimeters long. So this is, for all intents and purposes, a 16 centimeter Santoku knife. It's a cook's knife or chef's knife. It has the rounded edge to it, which is more common to your Japanese made ones. This will allow me to do more chopping down, like so. And it is quite a broad, I'll show you guys, it's quite a broad blade as it goes further up. You'll notice that it tapers down too. One other thing that I have noticed is that you've got your part here at the back, which I have conveniently forgotten, doesn't matter, but this thicker part here where it connects to the tang where the rubber handle sits, really good rubber handle actually. Very little chance that I'm going to slip and drop it. It's great grip and really good if I want to get a little bit more technical and get my finger in there, especially if I want to get all nice and close to do tighter work. Sorry guys, a little bit tighter work there. I can put my fingers in that part there and really hold down at the base of the knife. But on that point, the base of the knife, I don't know if we can see there, yeah, probably can. You'll see that it's really thick here, and then it tapers off a little bit to there. Come on, there we go. Tapers off a little bit, and then it continues to taper as it gets to the blade itself. This is a good thing, kind of, because there's a really good guard here. I'm not going to nip my finger off when I rub it across here, but it also means when I'm sharpening this, or when I pay a man or a woman to sharpen it, or whatever gender to sharpen this knife, they're only going to get up to about there and then stop. This will be left intact because it's really thick and not sharp, but the rest of it being sharpened either doesn't get sharpened, like in this case here, where I've only sharpened from here to here, or when it does get sharpened, it will start to wear away at this part here and come down as a, sorry, I'll do it on this side, come down as a little curve as it sharpens. You'll also notice that it has tapered off quite considerably. This was never a straight knife, I have to say. Never a straight knife. There's always been a little bit of curve to it, but it does definitely become thinner and thinner as it goes down. So this is quite weighty and quite sturdy. It has been an excellent workhorse for me for however long, the 2 years that I've been in this apartment. It's done really, really well for me. I'm very, very happy with it. This will not go in the bin when I do upgrade to the new knife. It will still be around as part of my main arsenal. Maybe as a bit of a backup knife or just a heavy chopper. Cool, so that's the Ikea knife. Put that off to the side. The second one I want to look at is the global knife. Now this is considerably more expensive than the Ikea knife. That is going off memory because I don't know 100%, but you can tell that it is a more expensive knife. Rather than that little guard that we have back here, I'm calling it a guard, that is not sharp, we have no guard whatsoever. So you can sharpen the whole length of the blade. This blade, incidentally, is a little bit longer at 18 centimeters. And you'll notice that the 18 centimeters goes along the entire length of the blade, right up to the end, and then you've got your tang here and your handle. Now, note on the global knives, and it's something that you might be able to spot if you are looking for a global knife. The blade itself and the handle are manufactured at different points and stuck together with a lot of warmth. You'll notice that there is a color differentiation between here and here. Here and here. About there's where the color differentiation occurs. That is because the blade is cast differently to this, and then they're stuck together nice and firm. That being said, that isn't the end of the world. It is still a very good knife. It is still quite durable, but if you do drop it or bang it against something, it is more likely to snap here than anywhere else. The blade is equally thick and equally sharp along the whole length of it, and it does have a bit of curve and a bit of taper to it as well. So you'll notice that I'm able to also do this. That is because it is a Japanese knife. So yeah, really, really nice. This is not actually mine. This is my housemate's. I am not a user of global knives generally, just because I'm not a big fan of the way they feel in my hand. It is quite a light knife. So lastly is the third knife. This is the unboxing part. This is the Takamura Tsuchime 18 centimeter Santoku knife. I'm gonna put it down here. We're gonna get it out of its literal home. Come here. Come hither, you fool. There we go, cool. So, lovely little knife care guide. And here it is. Here is the knife. There's a bit of weight in the handle, so it is more similar to the Ikea knife in that regard. The blade is beautiful and light though, and you'll notice it does taper off as well. This has got that semi-Damascus steel look to it. Get some focus going on, there we go. So you can see that it has been folded many times rather than cast forged. That's something that we are looking for. And it's got this lovely texture along here as well. The handle, unlike the other ones that we were looking at, has a little backing or a little hook here. That's so that my finger doesn't slide over the edge as much. And if we compare it to my other knife, my Ikea knife, it is a fairly consistent handle length. A little bit of thickness here, just to keep it steady in the hand while I'm chopping, rather than the indent here, which you can use for multiple applications. On that point as well, there isn't a guard like there is on the Ikea knife. Just nice and sharp from there. I'm not touching this. This is straight out of the box, so I'm definitely not touching the blade to that. One thing to note with the Japanese knives, I don't know if we can really see here, probably not, no. But one thing to note with Japanese knives is that it is only sharpened on one side. So as a righty, I've been given a right-handed knife. Lefties will have to go for a left-handed knife, which is not too difficult to find. But it is definitely worth keeping in mind because it does have a certain cut angle to it. So if it's flat on this side and sharp on this side, you're going to get more cutting and leading out that way. And vice versa, you'll get cutting in that way. So how I cut will have to change according to how this knife operates and functions. You might be able to see, kind of, if I do that, there we go, that this knife here is a little bit narrower than this knife here. That is not only because of the way that it is cast, but also because Japanese knives tend to be much thinner and also a sharper angle than the European-made knives. European-made knives are really built for force, to push through, whereas your Japanese knives are generally a lot more finer so that you're able to cut. Technically, it's designed so that you can cut between the atoms to give you a much finer, thinner cut. To be 100% fair with you, seeing as I've not used many Japanese knives, I can't clarify whether this is the case, but maybe in this little demo today, I'll be able to see a little bit of difference. So yeah, let's get this all cleared up, and oh no, before I do that, let's measure. Oh, look, it's not 18. It's not 18. It said 18. Said 18 and it's not 18. Gosh. Well, I'm annoyed now, aren't I? It says 18. Isn't it? Look. It's not 18. Oh well, not the end of the world. It's still an amazing knife and it's still an excellent gift. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope that you've learned a little bit more about knives in the process. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. If you would like to subscribe, I would like you to subscribe. That would be great. Please do so by clicking the subscribe button, and also if you want to click the bell button so you get notified whenever I post something. I should be doing something once every couple of weeks. Fingers crossed. It may not always be cooking videos, but it will always be some sort of cooking or food related content. So yes, keep an eye out for that. We'll catch you again next time. See ya.